I want to talk to you today about what you should do if you get a notice from a consulate and the consulate says that your visa application has been sent back to USCIS. That it's gone, that they've denied it, and that they've sent it back to USCIS. Typically, I talk a lot about visa delays and administrative processing and what they call refused cases, which are not really refused. But today I want to talk about what happens when they say we're sending it back to USCIS. If you don't know me, I'm Josh Goldstein. I'm an immigration lawyer in Los Angeles. I help people across the country and around the world get their visas out of administrative processing. I do it by suing consulates in federal court. I file writ of mandamus lawsuits to help people who are stuck, who've been suffering, who've been waiting, who've been lied to, who've been given misleading information by the State Department. They're sitting around waiting for months, years, and we come in and we sue. We go to federal court, we sue, and we get those visas approved, and we get them out of administrative processing. But in this situation, it's a little bit different. Here, we've gotten a notice that the case has been returned to USCIS. By the way, I have a free guide to administrative processing, and it has incredible information. It's free. It's on my website. I'll put it in the links below, and I recommend you check it out. If you have questions, let me know. I also have a private Facebook group where we talk about administrative processing delays and what to do and issues like that. I also put a link to that, and I'd love to have you in that group as well so we can talk about these things and try to work together. You'll see on my screen here a notice from a consulate. This was shared by someone named Simo Hamid, Moroccan case. And let's just read what it says, and then I'll give you my take on it and unpack it, because I think it doesn't mean it could be misleading, okay? He says, I did 2 interviews at the Moroccan consulate. They told me everything's fine, and now I'm surprised that my case is returning to America. So it says here, returned to USCIS CR1. Your case is refused under 221G of the Immigration Nationality Act. We are returning your petition to the Department of Homeland Security, USCIS. If USCIS determines that the information we are providing constitutes a sufficient foundation for initiating revocation proceedings, the petitioner will be sent a notice of intent to revoke that includes a statement of facts and evidence, and the petitioner will have an opportunity to respond. The U.S. Consulate in Casablanca has concluded its adjudication of this case. So notice the first word here, it says your case is refused under 221G. The word refused is very misleading. Sometimes, in this case, it means that they have denied the visa application. That's what refused means. But in many other cases, as we've seen this week, they use the word refused to mean temporarily put on hold. So when you see refused, you have to ask yourself, what does that really mean? In this case, unfortunately, refused means denied. But most of the time, refused just means you're waiting in administrative processing. It doesn't mean denied. But the second thing that I want to tell you, and this is my big insight that I really want you to know. If they say that they've sent it to USCIS, it gives the impression that they're going to do something with it, and that they're going to send you a notice of intent to revoke, and they're going to give you an opportunity to respond and to challenge and to convince them that they got it wrong and to change their mind. And that's technically the way it works, and that is what they say in this notice. What they don't tell you, and what I'm telling you, and what you need to know, is that this process will take so long. It will take so long. We're talking about years. This could take it could take you 18 months to 2 years before they will contact you with a possible notice of intent to revoke. It's going to take forever. And while you're waiting to hear from USCIS, you have more frustrations ahead of you. If you call the consulate in Casablanca or you email them and you say, where's my petition? They're going to say, we don't know. We sent it to USCIS. But if you call the 800 number for USCIS and you say, hey, my case was sent from the U.S. consulate in Casablanca, where is it and what do I do? They're going to say, well, we don't have any record of that. So there's no way to track where this case is, and there's no way to know where it is. There's no way to communicate with either any agencies. You're just in a black hole. And it's a terrible legal problem to have. It's a terrible immigration problem to have. So if you have this situation, the solution, in my opinion, is to start over and file a brand new petition. It doesn't feel good to start over. It doesn't feel good to file a brand new petition. But if you wait around for a notice of intent to revoke from USCIS, you're going to be waiting for a couple of years. And during that 2-year period, you could have already filed a new petition, and you could already be on your way to a new interview where you could have a new chance to convince them that you deserve to be approved. It's never fun to start over, but that's what you need to do if you get something like this. You need to start over. And if it's a marriage-based case, just refile the I-130, okay? And if it's a fiancé case, then try to get married. A mandamus lawsuit, I don't think would be the appropriate remedy in this situation. I'd much rather see you refile a new petition. I think that's the way to go. And it's bitter medicine because you don't want to have to start over. And the other thing is, a lot of times in these cases, the consulate is denying the case because they don't believe that the marriage or fiancé relationship is actually bona fide and genuine. So the fact that it's going to take another year or so to get an appointment at the consulate gives you time to develop the evidence that you'll need to convince them that the relationship is genuine. Try to spend time together, more photos, financial records, whatever the case may be. It's a time for you to develop that part of the case. That's my advice. I know it's tough to hear this, but that's my advice. It's a tough situation. If you have questions about this, message me or let me know. I'd be happy to chat with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.